Hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and give my recommendations at the end. I started to choke on my words there at the end. As you can see, 3 years ago, we covered Cobalion before. Cobalion, technically is how it's pronounced. But now we have Iron Crown to look at. This video will be linked down here in the description, it'll be unlisted in case you want to look at all 3 minutes 48 seconds of it. It's probably not anything, but just if you're one of those people who are like, hey, I'm curious, I want to see because my opinions change over time, and maybe there's something I mention here that I won't mention in this recording, we don't know. So if you're interested, it's not like it'll take you a long time. That's like enough time to brush your teeth or eat a food. You can do that. I think this was a different comment that I highlighted in the Terrakion episode, but I'm going to highlight it again. If you want a terrible idea, naming the Pokemon what it's based off is a great way to make you look fucking stupid. While you're at it, go ahead and name your Meowth cat, your Zapdos bird, your Charmander lizard. You know, just go ahead. Why bother trying? They gave you a nickname option. Just waste it. Braveheart, I feel like I know we've seen it before. I don't know, maybe we saw it in the original video. That's fine. It's kind of just one of those film-based nicknames we come across every now and again. I don't feel like there's one in particular that, like, strikes me as the best Pokemon, but this name just in general doesn't strike me too well, but I'm not going to shit on it, so if it interests you, cool. Okay, I got one, and I probably mentioned this in the Iron Leaves episode because I'm a stupid bitch, and I forgot. That was a while ago for me. This says Justice. Justice is a good idea for a Binding of Isaac Bayonetta style nickname that can just apply Swords of Justice. It makes sense. But I also probably mentioned the idea of the 3 branches of government, legislative, judicial, and whatever the fuck the other one was. So if you want to do something like that, that could work. Again, this is the US judicial government branch system, so if like Canada does something different, or Australia, or whatever, and it doesn't apply, oh well, and you got your own version or whatever, you could also turn it that way. Alternatively, their ability makes them more powerful when struck by darkness, just like the real US government. Corruption. I don't remember Code Blue at all, but I'm kind of okay with that. Again, we need more color-based nicknames. Code Red, of course, is going to be the more popular choice, but Code Blue, I feel like, is the next most popular in references of, like, things said in films or whatever the hell, so that one's okay. I also feel like that's a drink. I could be wrong. Was that like a flavor of Gatorade or something once? Juggernaut, we see this every now and again. That's what, a Marvel guy, DC guy, or something like that. But also I think it's just kind of just a word. So do with that what you will. T-800, more Terminator. We've been seeing a lot of it in Paldea. Now technically, I don't think we mentioned it in this DLC portion of the videos, but for other Paradox Pokemon, if you're playing a prior generation to 9 and you just feel like doing a tongue-in-cheek reference, I mean, I suppose you could do it later. If you want to reference the idea that it eventually becomes called Iron Crown, and you're like, I don't know, playing through Black and White or X and Y, and you just want to name it Iron Crown, I feel like that's fair. It feels like a nice little reference. It feels like when you're playing Mario 64 and you're at Snowman's Land, but you look at the mirror and you're like, I could walk through that wall if only I had a Vanish Cap. We'll highlight this one for the ending because it goes into lions, and again, these are deers. They're the Musketeers. I don't know if that's actually what other people call them, but that's what I've decided that they're called. They're the Musketeers, and any other name is wrong. But Iron Man, we've seen plenty of times in the past before. Ultron, Doctor Doom, those are all totally fine. There's going to be better choices for some of those names, but in case any of them strike your fancy, here you go. Oh, actually, here's an idea, because Iron Man names some of his suits, right? You could name Cobalion after one of the suits, and then you could name Iron Crown after an upgraded version of one of the suits, if you wanted to. Alright, well that's that, we've reached the bottom. This is an idiot right here. This doesn't mention nicknames at all. This was interesting to me just because it's like, I don't know, some fan wiki shit, but my favorite part right here was others like you viewed, and it puts Beast. What did I view that was relevant to Beast? I don't know, I guess someone took Pokemon and put it in their fan fiction or whatever the hell. What's a Cobalion? This was nothing. Then we looked at that. This one's actually good because they mention a spice thematic. It just doesn't have shit to do with Cobalion. So if you like any general idea from here, that could work as an idea. They're not bad nicknames. They're just not relevant to what we're looking for. That's all. So the comments on this original video are as follows. Fire Emblem Nerd agrees that Fire Emblem idea is good. Do with that what you will. Personally, I think, what's he says? Durandal? Yeah. Is first off, you said over the top, then on the nose. Those are two different things. That's, in my opinion, only going to be a bad choice if you put it on, like, Duraludon. If you put it on Cobalion, it'd probably still be fine. But regardless, Fire Emblem Nerd agrees. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Iron Crown nicknames and see if the internet has a single fucking thing to say about that. Well, you know what, my boy? Even if it's not a reindeer, it's at least a deer. It's not a fucking lion, so you're closer than majority of the internet. Bluedolph, I mean, it's stupid, but it's alright. It's passable. Milwaukee, location-based nicknames are fine. We saw Baltimore a lot for something. I don't know. It was because Baltimore Ravens that people explained. It might have been Corviknight, I don't know. But regardless, if you got a sports team and a mascot and you think it could work, just an idea. Kuzco from the Emperor's New Groove. That's a llama, but you know what? I gotta give you points for trying. Also, I named my festival plaza in Sun and Moon Cuscotopia because I'm a fucking idiot. What did you call yours? Because personally, I think I gave it the best possible name I could. I could have done some stupid shit, but Cuscotopia? We saw literally all of these in the Stantler, probably Weird Ear episode, so deers, Santa Sleigh, if that appeals to you, that's fine. Bullwinkle, that's a stupid enough name that's not anywhere else. I'm not in love with any of these, but if it means anything to you, cool. Ironclad feels familiar, that might be a Transformer. Iron Maiden, why don't we have an official Pokemon called Iron Maiden? It can be a future version of Gothitelle. Mentioned this in the Terrakion episode. If you want to go ahead and make a pair thingy with Virizion being Verizon, you could also do AT&T or T-Mobile or Sprint or whatever the fuck other phone provider you want for the other two Musketeers. Alright, this one's a long comment, so we can't get his name in the frame as well, but it's right down here. Weirdly enough, I didn't see this in the Iron Boulder episode, despite it. And we mentioned the idea of, because he mentions it in Iron Leaves, Sci-Fi Swords of Justice, lightsabers. I mentioned probably in the Leaves episode about the idea of different beam katanas from No More Heroes. I don't know if the lightsabers themselves in Star Wars have names, or just naming it after the Jedis or whatever that wield them is an idea. He says that this is named after the crystals that are used to make lightsabers, so an idea. Whoever is more knowledgeable on Star Wars or sci-fi stuff, feel free to put in your own 2 cents. Alright, well, we kind of reached the bottom already here, because this is what's an Iron Crown. We just looked at that. This is the same thing we've looked at 3 times, because it has the word iron in it, I guess. Fuck if I know. Not clicking on that. What's an Iron Crown? What's an Iron Crown? This didn't have Iron Crown at all. What's an Iron Crown? So we literally got like 2 links out of it, and that was it. Cool. And as mentioned in the Terrakion episode, there's no comment suggestions for Iron Crown, Cobalion at all. I didn't write anything down, but I do feel like, weirdly enough, a sense of potential more resonating from Iron Crown than I got from Iron Boulder. I don't know, maybe it's just because we saw the lightsaber thing, so that one's fresh on my mind, but I like that. The idea of, I don't know, I guess the foam provider. It's not strong, but I mean, it's an idea. There's ways you could pair these 3 idiots together. Any ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. Let us know what you'd use or recommend. I'm not going to have a witty one-liner. I'm just going to go ahead and let Emperor's New Groove play again.
For the last time, we did not order a giant trampoline.
You know, pal, you could have told me that before I set it up.